Hello, sports fans. It's Sunday, April 6th. Welcome to Cleats by Dre. I'm Dre. Let's talk some sports. All right, coming to you, rapid reaction. Just watched the Duke men's Blue Devils team lose to Houston, 70-67. Probably still in shell shock, but I wanted to record. I wanted to give you my thoughts. I have not checked social media. I think it's a healthy thing for me to do. And in a way, it's 12:38 a.m. Sunday morning. I feel like a lot of the Duke haters are not awake yet. So I haven't gotten all those texts that you get sometimes. So actually not feeling too... No, I'm feeling pretty bad. It's interesting. When I was younger and Duke would lose in the tournament, I would throw chairs. I would stew. This is just a gut punch, this one. And it's interesting. I mean, you've listened, right? You know, my last episode was our panel beforehand. You know how overconfident I've been. My buds in the text chain know how overconfident I've been. I was the guy that, after 10 minutes yesterday when they were up by 9, projected, hey, we're going to win by 36. I've been really confident with this team. And it's not just the analytics side of it. It's the style in which they play and the depth and the balance. And they've had an answer for everything. They did not have an answer in the last 31.4 seconds tonight. They did not have that answer. And we'll go through it. We'll go through, I mean, it should be quick, but we'll go through the reasons they lost. But it's just interesting because, like, I wasn't nervous for this game. I haven't been nervous in the tournament yet. And so it just kind of came on. I made notes that I was nervous for the first time with 4.5 minutes left, 59-55. They had that crazy 6-point possession. And they never went away. But then I wasn't nervous until 31.4 seconds left. After Sharp hit a 3. We were having trouble getting the ball inbound. We were only up 3. What happened? How did we lose that game? How did we lose that game? I have a list. I have some things, and I'll do different categories of it. I'll start with our players. Cooper Flagg, stat line, incredible game, made incredible plays. He's still an incredible player. 27 points, 7 rebounds. He led the team in everything. 5 stocks, right? Steals and blocks. He was just a little bit off all game, though. Some of his drives were just bouncing off the rim. Some of his lobs weren't going to Malawak where they wanted to go. He had a stretch, I'd say, from about 8 minutes left in the second half to like 2 minutes. He missed like 4 mid-range jumpers. Hit a 3. Obviously missed the jumper on our second-to-last possession. He was just a little bit off. He was not... he was so good in so many ways. That's the thing. This team has come to see him better, but things were just a little bit off. And that in a game where you lose by 3, the margins come down to it. One of my worst fears with this team and how we lost that Clemson game, we were out-rebounded. We were out-toughed down low. We had the size advantage, but we didn't have the toughness advantage. You can't have your starting center as an NBA prospect have 0 rebounds. That's you, Malawak. Your backup center who plays 5 minutes, Gongba, who I should have played more, 0 rebounds. Malik Brown played fine, but overall we lost the rebounding battle by 11. And we'll do this live on the pod. I don't know if we got a rebound in the last 5 minutes of the game. Okay, I paused it. so you didn't have to listen to me looking it up. We had 2 rebounds in the last 6 minutes and 23 seconds in the game, both by Cooper. We didn't have any rebounds after 3 minutes and 23 seconds left. We lost the rebounding battle by 11. You don't win games in the tournament by that, no matter how good you are. I kind of said it on our group chat. I think we played our B- game. It wasn't good enough compared to the B+ A- game that Houston played for them. Tyrese Proctor just awful all around. Lots of missed shots. Obviously, the big missed free throw, the 1-and-1, the front end, the 1-and-1 towards the end. Yeah, I'll talk about Jon Scheyer, but didn't use his bench enough. Let's see who else could have brought something. We kind of like slept through the game, eking lead, and they pounced on it. We had some bad luck, sure. I thought the Gillis elbow, I don't think that was intentional. I guess you gotta call a flagrant, but like it didn't. I don't think he knew he was there. That was a weird one. And then of course the ticky tack foul and flag. At the end, the over. It wasn't an over the back. He was just reaching over. Talk about a ref show. I'm not going to make it just about that play, but that's a play you can't call. Jon Scheyer, who really grew on me this year, not just as a general manager assembling this team, but figuring out, how to maximize them, because this was a maximum team all year. I don't understand the second half. Did not go to his bench at all. Our bench is our strength, the depth. I mean, these guys are getting worn down. Where was Gongba? Where were more minutes for Gillis? Where was Evans? Where was more minutes for Foster, who was tough in the first half? I don't understand. Zion James, we thought he had a concussion. But then he's back in 1 minute later. Couldn't give Foster some more runs, so didn't love the rotations. And late game execution was everything we feared. One good inverted pick and roll from Flag and Proctor. I got Proctor some free throws that he actually hit. But then ISO ball. You knew what was coming. Everyone knew what was coming. And let's call a spade a spade. Duke's bugaboo all year was people saying the late game possessions. Right? We don't have to go through it. Kentucky, Kansas, Clemson. And the same thing happened. Cooper's going to grow into be an incredible player, but I wanted to see more at that critical last possession. We're already down 1. And even more with 3.7 seconds left to go full court. How do you not get a somewhat decent look at a 3, a half-court 3? You don't have to throw it down the court Leitner style with 3.7 seconds left. Give it to someone, get something, get a shot off, but... Look, I'm bearing the lead. I'm not going to be a downer. These are kids. All the credit goes to Houston. Kelvin Sampson. Not Kevin. Kelvin Sampson. Tough-ass team. And he reminded us all in the interview right after the game. They went 19-1 in the Big 12. The Big 12 is a better conference this year than the ACC. 19-1 in the tough Big 12. They were battle-tested. They've been around the block. I remember that, flashing on that. I don't get a lot of time to watch other games, but that Kansas double OT game, before we realized Kansas wasn't good, Houston was tough down the stretch. And that guy Roberts hit free throws, and he hit free throws tonight too. This team's been battle-tested. This team kept hitting their threes to stay in it. Their guards kept hitting their threes. They kept hitting their free throws. This is the veteran team that's been around. It's made a ton of Sweet 16s, made some Final Fours lately. They were probably a little chip on their shoulder because Duke, honestly, we got lucky against them last year with Shed getting injured. You got to give these guys credit. I don't care. I'll curse. They took it from us. They absolutely took it at the end. That's the credit. I'm not going to say the Duke players lost it as much, but this team, Houston took it from us, and we got to deal with it. Side note, it's interesting. I predicted Duke to win off the panel, but my start of year prediction was right. Before the year, I was Final Four on them. Final Four on Duke. losing to a team that's played together for years. That a little more cohesive, a little more battle tested. And look, I get it. I mixed my predictions up so I could claim victorious any which way. But yeah, that's what came through. And I think that leads to questions. That leads to real questions for Scheyer and his roster construction strategy. I mean, Duke in 2015 still the last team to win featuring freshmen. That's 10 years. I mean, if great freshmen want to come, you take them. Cooper Flagg, incredible. You got to get some guys to grow, though. Some guys to stay. Hopefully Malik Brown stays. Hopefully Gongba stays. Hopefully Isaiah Evans stays. You get lucky and a Knipple stays? Probably not. Does Caleb Foster stay? You got the Boozer brothers coming in. But man, I mean, look, it's a one and done tournament. And that's that maybe explains why I'm not like throwing chairs. I'm crushed, but I'm not throwing chairs. And it's just weird. Like it was weird going into these games, this tournament. I wasn't nervous. I mean, I was definitely overconfident. You know, and maybe I wasn't nervous. I already thought this team was a winner. I already thought this was like the best Duke team I've seen. I told my dad, we were watching the middle of the Sweet 16, the Arizona game. I was like, this is the best team I've ever rooted for in any sport. This is the best team I've rooted for in any sport. You guys know my history. I don't have a ton to go off of. I don't have too many dominant Mets teams or dominant Giants teams. I have some Giants teams that got hot and won the Super Bowl. I don't have dominant Knicks teams. So we're not going that far of a stretch, but the way this team played for majority of the season, they were dominant. The analytics back it up. The eye test backs it up with the way they played. And I'm sorry, I can't. A loss in a one and done tournament is not going to take that away from me. But they're not going to be champions. They can be the best team that I've seen game to game, possession to possession. But they're not going to be champions. So the question is, will they be remembered? Will we not remember this team? Go ahead, rattle off the best Duke teams of all time. You got the Johnny Dawkins gang, right, back in the 80s, starting everything. You got Leighton Hurley, Grant Hill carried us in the early 90s. You got Jay Will, Battier, Dunleavy, Boozer in the early 2000s. You got to mention the title-winning teams, right? The 2010 Fluky team, Scheyer and Singler. The 2015 freshman phenoms, Justice, Tyus, Jaleel. Zion's 2019 team will always get mentioned because he's a highlight freak. You're always going to remember Zion. You know who doesn't get mentioned with all those teams? The 1999 team. Can people still... Can casuals even name who's on that team? I heard part of my take call it the Corey Maggette team. Not that they're the biggest Duke historians. But yeah, Elton Brand, Trajan Langdon, Will Avery, Corey Maggette, those four guys turned out to be top 14 picks in the next draft. That team, really, per KenPom, I think is the only analytically superior team to this one. That team went 37-2, 16-0 in the ACC. That team lost to UConn and Khalid El-Amin and Rip Hamilton in the championship. That team does not get remembered. You did not think of them when I said the best teams, Duke teams of all time. So, you know, this team, and look, I think Cooper Flagg's going to go have an incredible career in the NBA. That'll help his team be remembered. You cannot say Elton Brand or any of those players went out to have, I mean, Elton Brand and the All-Stars, but really none of those other three guys. I mean, Maggette maybe had, I don't think Maggette had All-Star years, but my point is, will this team be remembered? God, they squandered an opportunity, and I haven't consumed any of the post-game content. I haven't seen Scheyer's press conference. I haven't been on social media. I bet those kids are crying in the locker room, bawling. because that was a fast loss. I didn't have time to get nervous. Houston took it from us. You got to tip your hat and load up for next year. So that's wild. And look, Duke fan, I hate it. Good for college basketball. Duke fan, I hate it. I don't know what to say. God, was not expecting this. I'll think if I have more thoughts later on in the week, but that's it for now. Everyone get some rest, and I'll catch you later. Thanks.